Shadaim, peace and freedom. I'm Queen Mother Imakhu, your renegade wise woman. We've got another full moon. This is February 22nd, 2016, and the full moon tonight is in Seshat, traditionally known as Virgo. Now, we've got a bunch of different energies that are also at play because of the fact that we have entered the sun cycle of Pisces. Pisces, according to the ancient Khametic tradition, uh, correlates to Khametic, who is the primary guardian of the temple I run, the uh, Sharem Shanu Khametic Yoga temples. I'm getting my stool comfortable here. You hear that? And um, she wears a fish crown. Some say it's a dolphin. Whatever the case, she's very ancient, and her energy is very beautiful. Again, these are energy principles, and for those of you who know Yoruba, she is like the energy of Yemoja, Oshun, and Oya combined. Whew! But from the Kemetic standpoint, she is even stronger than Heteru or Huteru. Um, she is she has the sweetness of Huteru more so. She's amazing. The energy is just amazing. You can find out more information about her by going to the Sharem Shanu temple site, Sharem Shanu temple.info. And so anyway, and the information is going to be listed below in the YouTube description. Also in this cycle with Pisces is Iset and Nebuchadnezzar, the two sisters. And finally, Enpu, or Epwat, the opener of ways, guardian of the gates. Now, let me tell you something. This is a really auspicious time because here we have the energy of Seshat, who is known as the keeper of secrets, the mother of or grandmother of libraries, and also the mother of writing, meaning that writing is attributed to the matriarchal system, that it came from the Divine Mother. Art and writing started with the mother. But the thing about it is that Seshat also deals with the mysticism of words and word art. When you write something down, when you write hekau down, words of power down, if you draw something and you infuse energy in it as you're doing it, it brings life to it. Okay? Now, what does all this have to do? How does this all work together? Well, the high mysticism that comes with the Piscean energy, fused with the mystery of Seshat, means that you stand a great chance to basically make a wish. But be very careful what you wish for, because what you invoke will be like a child that you can't get rid of. Well, in some cases you can. But here's the main thing. See, through the use of the word and through writing, you are able to correct many things in your life. In fact, the theme for this astrological cycle is, well, I'm calling it, I can fix it. I can fix it. And this means that you're taking active responsibility in transforming your life. And also, even though you may feel as though you are completely at wit's end, or you feel as though you are so low that you have died and you just need to have a resurrection, you can. I was inspired by a movie that I saw yesterday, and oh gosh, what's the name? Uh, oh gosh, the Revenant. That's it. Yes, I was about to pull it up real quick. The Revenant, and Revenant means a dead person who has returned, or someone who was away a long time and was assumed to be dead who has returned, or the spirit of a dead person that has come to fore. And in this true story, of course, they took liberties because of the fact that it's Hollywood, so they kind of twisted the plot line in some ways, but it's based on a true story of a man who was attacked by a grizzly bear and lived to tell the story. And I mean, his body was all broken up, and the folks who were with him, a bunch of trappers, people who were looking for animal pelts, traders, and they turned out to be traitors because they left him for dead. And what ends up happening is, in spite of the wounds that should have killed him, in spite of the fact that he was, well, they thought hours away from death, and he lived another 5 days. That's why they decided to leave him. But the fact is that beyond any kind of odds that make any sense, he lived and willed himself to live so he could get revenge on the folks who left him behind. Now, that may seem like I don't know, I wouldn't say a petty excuse, because I don't know how I'd feel if I were in that situation. I've been in situations similar to that, where I've had seizures and the people around me just left me to, this was years ago. People in consciousness community too. But to be left for dead, you've got to find somewhere within yourself to will your resurrection. And he did, based on his desire to avenge his son, who one of the men killed, and he saw that he killed his son. So it's an inspiring movie. It's very violent, though. I spent most of my time like this. And I know, Brother Ramon, you're thinking, because he took me to the movie last night, you're thinking, wow, you just turned this whole thing into a sermon from seeing the movie last night. Mm-hmm. Inspiration comes in so many different ways. And so I, this morning, was curious about the Khametic words that would be the equivalent of revenant, the return, okay? Especially if someone who was once thought to be dead. And it really has a lot more to do with the cycle of renewing of life, Wuhem Ankh, being born again, what it takes for you to remake your life. So I made a list. Let me see, I have so many lists here. Okay. This is the list that I made. The Khametic words for return. And the main one is Ien, or Ein. And there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 different references that I have that all tied together with this Ien, to go back, to return, Enk, to withdraw, to return, Ink, like the ink you carry, ink. Okay, but this one's spelled with a Q. But we'll get to this. Isu, which is reward, recompense, return. Substitution, price, payment, because this is also tied in with value. Remuneration, retribution, equivalent. In, to turn oneself, to return, to repeat an act, to take back, to retract, to subtract, again. Repeat, again. Yes, it means again. Inen, which is to return or to turn back. Enenu, one who returns. Enenu. En, to turn back. En, again. En, now dig this. En, to paint, to practice the craft of the artist. Now, what does that got to do with all the other stuff? When I think about it, when you have art, an artist being one I can tell you, we recreate life. We depict what's going on in our world. We will copy. Okay, I'm working on a sketch, a likeness of someone. Okay, um, and in doing so, you capture back some of the energy of what took place. Excuse me. And so, but to continue, so yeah, artists replicate images, stories, history, and people. So that makes sense. But what's also interesting is that to describe in here, the difference is that there is the depiction of an artist's palette from back in ancient Khametic times, Nile Valley region times. And the palette was the artist's toolkit because you had the varied hues that were there, the paints, if you will, the colored powders and so forth. And the brush, or the tool that was used, which was a papyrus stalk that was chewed off at the end, and you ever do that? We're just think of it like what you do to a toothpick, okay? What they used for writing was, of course, thicker, just like their version of a paintbrush or pen. But you know what you do when you're chewing on a toothpick, or even if you get down to a lollipop and you're just kind of chewing it. That's what they did in order to create a brush for themselves. So this was part of the artist kit, and so it was their version of a writing. Like when you go to school, you send your kid to school with pencils and pens and crayons, and so for the skilled artist, and also for the scribe in training, having your artist palette was everything. Okay, uh, because it also referred to the tools, or the writing board that you would use. Well, okay, so the ain, and I thought, but that's the root word for ink. It should be pronounced ink, not unk. Ink. I still fall into that habit because that's how I was. That's how I came through. That's the training that I had. It was old school, and now we're working on correcting a lot of the modern day misinterpretations that our forebears handed to us. Not casting any kind of aspersions, but we're moving the traditions forward. Just like I know the people who come behind me will continue moving the traditions forward for any possible mistakes that those of us who are teaching the tradition right now will make. And so it's all good. But ink, the root word being ain, which is to repeat. Okay. And so what do we have here? We have this loop on the top. Well, first let's start with this. And I'm going to break this down to you in a whole different way. Because usually you hear, okay, this is the male principle, and these are the fallopian tubes, and this is the womb. Or this is the Hapi, or the Nile, as it's misinterpreted. The Wukhem Ankh, all right, the energy that goes into the land or your body, okay, your earth, and then brings you illumination. Here's another aspect I came to realize. This represents your life path. We always come to a crossroads place, and sometimes we go the wrong way, all right? But, let me see some facing you. Let me do this. So let's say, you end up going over here. But you always have the opportunity to go back. Now, you see, I'm going from, when you go from from right to left, then you are reversing energy, starting from your left and then moving it in the counterclockwise, okay? Counterclockwise movement reverses negative energy. And then you go in a clockwise movement, okay? In order to restore, because nature hates a vacuum. And as soon as you eradicate something, you've got to fill it with something else. And so you want to take control of your life and fill it with something good, all right? So here we have your life path, and within it, the potential for changing. Okay? This part is called the Shen. The Shen is the circle. Life is the circle. Pekarit Pu'ank. Okay? Life is the circle. And Pekarit Pu'ank. Okay? But listen, here's the thing. Going further as finding other words. Oh, wait. Enk. Repeating life. Repeating life. This deals with reincarnation, as do these other words too. But also reincarnating your life, redoing your life, revamping your life in the present as well. Yes, you have that potential. And I want to go on and share Ket, which is circle, Qet, Ked, rather, Ked. And then also Kednu, Kednu, which means to build, to fashion, to construct, to mold, okay? And there is a person sitting at a potter's wheel. We know that principle to be Kanum, but this is not showing a guardian or a nature. This is showing a person. This is showing that you have the ability to craft your life. And in fact, there's also Ked, which means to construct, build, to form. Ged Hauf Jaef means constructor of his own body or his own life. Okay? Kednu also means characteristics, qualities. Ked, circle, orbit. Kednuj, to return. Kedet, circuit. You know, like that kind of circuit. Kedediti, a revolution, as in to revolve. Mm-hmm. Now, let's go back to Ain, all right? And also, let me introduce another word to you. The word ches, or chess, which deals with arranging. I'm going to read you specifically what it says here. Let me see. This is in the Budge Dictionary. Don't cuss the Budge Dictionary. It just makes you work harder to get to the right stuff because there are a lot of mistakes in here. It just makes you a better student. That's all. Makes you a much better scholar. Chess. And this is, you'll see with a TH sound, okay? THES, but you would write it CHES. Ch, like a choo-choo. Chess. It means to arrange, okay, to put things in order. Is associated with Seshat. But also, proverb, saying, formula, charm, spell, incantation, declaration, statement, what a man wants to say, accusation of a plaintiff, speech or defense of a defendant, sentence, aphorism, and basically it's talking about word power. Seshat, words. Chess also is a reference for the spine, and you have an order to the bones, and it is the form that holds the body together. Yes? By creating art, words of power, that will help to rearrange your life, writing your goals. I know I'm always talking about writing goals, okay? But in this cycle in particular, because we're talking about high magic here that is available to transform your life through the written word, opening up the mystery within you in order to make things possible. putting your life in a new order in order to move higher, because Ches, Cheset, Chesi, they all also have to do with exaltation, elevation, moving on, moving up. In order to do that, you've got to be organized. You've got to open your imagination as well. This is using higher consciousness, okay? But you've also got to choose affirming words that are going to help get you to the next place. Write down where you want to be. Write down who you want to be. Write down if you need to, just in reimagining your life, if you need to create storyboards, okay? All of these things that help you to listen. Pinterest is a great online way of creating vision boards for yourself. Using Pinterest do that. All right. If you're not really an artist, do the Pinterest thing. But there is power in writing things in your own hand. Replication through the written word or through written imagery. Okay. So at this time, focusing on Seshat and details and redoing your life so that the details lead you to a higher place. Because another depiction for chess, which is to arrange, is of a man who was going up what appears to be a spine, okay? Here we're talking about Eritu study, the chakras, okay? You know, we do that here at Shorem Shanu Temple. I teach that as well. But it is a systemized way using combination of Hekau, words of power, understanding the energies that lie within, and being able to open that mystery through Khametic Yuka or Yuke, and through meditation, and through Iri, action, that you're able to transform yourself, okay? No matter how bleak it may seem, you have the opportunity to renew your life. You can rewrite your story. It's not over, all right? Call upon the principle of Seshat or Seshat to help you rewrite your story. Get a journal, get some note paper. You know, I always keep index cards around so I can make notes. I'm always making notes. I have bulletin boards because I'm constantly thinking of new ideas, and I need to be able to put them down so I can organize them, you know? Organizing is the main thing, and that's a gift that you will be able to receive from the energy of Seshat. And that's the magic you will be able to create in this time just by putting pen to paper. As simple as that. If you want to find out more about Khametic astrology, if you'd like your own personal chart, and also if you'd be interested in joining our temple, Shorem Shanu Temple, becoming a partner with us at $25 a month, feel free to contact me. Visit the Facebook page for Shorem Shanu Temple. Also, my fan page, which is facebook.com/Imakhu, Imakhu. And go to our website, shoremshanutemple.info, and my website, queenmotherimakhu.info. You can reach me at 646-228-1185. If you'd like to join us for temple service starting this coming Saturday at Simple Studios in Manhattan, you can contact us as well. There's information all over our Facebook pages and so much more. Hoping that you live with renewal and the renewal of hope, because your life is worth it. Come out of the shadows, come out of hiding, and let your light shine. Much love to you.